Доброго дня, шановні пані та панове.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ukrainian Crisis Media Center continues its work, and we welcome all who are watching us. Our current topic is announcement about the partnership of 25 communities. We have Yuliia Yesmukhanova, executive head of the USA DOBRE program, Vyacheslav Nehoda, deputy minister on the communities and territories, then Veniamin Sitov and mayor of the Merefianska community in Kharkiv Oblast, and Petro Sehediy from head of the Sofiivska Territorial community in Dnipropetrovsk, and also members of the new communities. We are happy to welcome you at this announcement of our 25 new partners. Usually we celebrate such events at the networking events, and now unfortunately we have to do this almost totally online, but nevertheless it is an important event. I would ask you to show my presentation, and I will explain about our program. We, as a program, DOBRE, have been working since June 2016, and the project will last till September 22. We had just first we had just several communities, and this year, due to the program DOBRE, we have got an opportunity to add 25 more communities, and thus we will unite as a program almost 100 communities. Why we wish to engage more communities. Major goal of our program is to support local self-government in deepening of democratic processes and improving conditions for development. So our objectives, we have two major objectives. The first objective is to strengthen cooperation of the local self-government aimed at strengthening its capacity. And the second objective, actually the second component of our program, is to increase the capacity of local communities in decision-making and to increase the involvement of citizens, broad layers of citizens like women, youth, etc., to decision making. Unfortunately, our resources are limited, and we teach our communities to work strategically and focus on the top priorities. That's why, after consultations with our donors and the Ministry of the Regions and Territories, we have selected territories and communities who participated in the competition, in the contest. Why we had to limit the participation, because our team, our program is very comprehensive, and we need to have experts and contact points and very proactive participants in each community. Actually, each week our experts have very close communication with the community representatives. That's why we are unable to cover all the communities in Ukraine, but we nevertheless try to create communities who later on will be able to share best practices and show best examples for other communities. So we offer strategic planning for the community growth, local economic development, gender-sensitive approaches, involvement of citizens, involvement of youth communication and online instruments, and some others. This is a current work plan. With the last cohort, we will have the smaller amount of actions or events to do, but we have good methodology and good experience from previous cohorts, and we expect that our work with the last cohort will be rather effective. Besides working groups and trainings which we provide, we expect to produce the following outcomes: the infrastructural projects, and we expect that around $3 million, or which is equal to 82 million hryvnia, will be later implemented in the communities. Here you see the projects which are already implemented in 75 communities. We have spent, as of now, around 62 million hryvnia, and received around 143 million of money from communities. This was investment from communities into those infrastructural projects. So now about the competition to the last cohort. The competition was held in June, during June till September. The first stage of selection collected 96 applications, the second stage 31, and in result of that short list we have selected 25 committees. In September, when we had finally selected the communities, we understood that the local elections were an approach, and we decided to postpone the beginning of our work till new local elections. Out of 25 communities, 7 leaders of the communities had changed, and after first session we had communication with them, and they had meetings with our experts. In the meanwhile, we started training sessions with the newly elected heads of communities. So the result is follows: 5 communities in Zaporizhzhia Oblast, 10 communities in Chernihiv and Chernivtsi, 10 cities, 7 settlements, and 8 villages. Only 9 of those communities, these are not newly amalgamated communities. That means actually they would not require strategic planning, while the majority have to do this process of strategic planning for their communities. In Zaporizhzhia, we have Vasilivska, Guliapilska, Komysh-Zorianska, Pologhivska, and Cherokivska communities. I'm happy to welcome the Zaporizhzhia Oblast communities. This is Chernihiv region and new communities in Chernihiv region. Koropska, Koryukivska, Лисинівська, Любицька, Менська, Ніжинська, Новгород-Сіверська, Сновська, Sosnitska, Tupicevska, amalgamated communities. These were all amalgamated communities. And in Chernivtsi Oblast we have Великокучерівська, Вижницька, Глибоцька, Клішковецька, Мамалигівська, Недобоївська, Новоселицька, Кукшицька, Усть-Путильська and Хотинська amalgamated communities. We welcome all those new members of our family in the project, and now I'm happy to invite Mr. Nehoda, Deputy Minister on the Territorial Development of the Ministry of Communities and Territories Development. I'm happy to use this opportunity on the eve of the new year and welcome and thank to the DOBRE program, who has been doing good things from the first day when it launched its work in Ukraine. At the first and the kickoff stage of our decentralization reform, we felt very important support from your project because at the example of some communities that got your assistance, we were able to demonstrate the successes of the decentralization. So those first three cohorts of communities were that allowed to pilot the decisions made by either the parliament or the government, and the program itself made a huge contribution into the development of local communities. And you are doing this contribution not via declarations, but via real investment projects which improve infrastructure and the quality of services that are delivered in this or that community. Thus, we have the history of success, the success story, and today we are shaping the today we are welcoming the new pool of communities who are in our family of the DOBRE program. And actually out of that 463 new amalgamated local community that started to function after the new elections, and that after the new year will actually start to gain new experience because in the past they was subordinated either to the district authorities or to the oblast authorities, and they were unable to see opportunities and to feel responsibility for their own growth and development. Now I believe that now it is important to pilot the projects that being implemented in these pilot communities could later on be multiplied all around Ukraine. So immediately after elections, you are able to implement actually your programs, or immediately start implementation of your programs. Which you compiled just before elections. And Yuliia mentioned those new 25 communities that joined this first cohort. Some of them are familiar to us because they started to function as amalgamated communities before the elections, but now there's a new stage of development just before planning budgets for the future. It is quite useful and even inevitable to have a strategic plan for the development as to the urban development, to bring the master plans in line with the strategic vision for the community development. So here you will be able to get professional support from the project. To those who were selected for participation in the project, I should say that you have got a ticket for hard work. We had even some communities who found it too hard to work in the project, who expected that the project would do something instead of them, and that's why they stepped back at some stages. So I believe that newly elected councillors in the communities and the newly elected heads of the communities, they should be very much willing to participate in this program because it provides exquisite opportunities for new knowledge. On the other hand, this will mean for you hard work, and I encourage you to use both these opportunities in full scale. And please know that experts would be very scrupulous. They will offer you to determine the KPIs of your work and try to encourage you to think strategically, step by step, and in many details. But in result of that, you will get good outcomes, I assure you. I believe that representatives of executive bodies and the councillors of the city councils, settlement council, they will become more capable. They more capable to produce better ideas and to understand how those ideas might be implemented. Once again, I would like to thank to the DOBRE program, as we used to do after each cohort, and we would like to thank to the USAID because they provide this support, a very important support to the decentralization reform implementation and to the community's development. Actually, the success of the whole reform would depend on the success and development of each community. I would like to congratulate you with the coming new year, and to send you my best wishes. For us, your results are very important, and we would appreciate feedback from you. And for us, it will be very good to know that the project is useful. Thank you very much. You promise such a hard work to our community representatives. That they might be frightened, I think. Now I'm happy to invite our heads from the first and second cohorts. Mr. Petro Sehediy from Sofiivska settlement, territorial community in the Dnipropetrovsk region. Mr. Sehediy, could you explain your experience with our project? Good afternoon, Yuliia. Good afternoon, Viacheslav. I'm happy to welcome those communities who had joined to our DOBRE family. It is not scary to work in this project. It's extremely interesting. When we started to take part in the program, it actually turned upside down all our vision and all our approach to what we are doing. Today, when we are looking at the decentralization reform and when we are gaining more and more new responsibilities, we find out that we can do more. Due to the DOBRE program, we were able to develop a good strategic vision, good strategic plan, which we now started to implement. With the assistance of the DOBRE program, we were able to create a good website, a good portal, which became very popular and attracts attention. Due to the DOBRE program, we were able to implement a considerable number of smaller projects, which nevertheless showed good success, and this was quick success that allowed us to prove the usefulness of the decentralization. Today, experts and our counselors and even citizens, they come to us and offer new things that could be done and should be done by us as the council. Sofiivska territorial community is very lucky to have such mentors as your project. I'm happy to thank once again to your experts, to your mentors, and it is what is very good that you brings us responsible for the work that we promised to do, and we always remember that we are accountable in that number to you. We have to show what we have learned, and we have reached what we planned. Each webinar, each video conference allowed us to understand better the role of the leader of local community and of the counselors. So I would like to assure the leaders of the new cohort that you are very lucky. You have a long way ahead, and you will like it. On my side, I would like to congratulate everybody with the Christmas and New Year, and this will be 4 years in a row when we will have the Festival of Carols, and we have very good website which popularized this event. There are a lot of volunteers willing to participate in it. With this, I would like to invite Mr. Veniamin Sitov from Merefianska town or city, territorial community in Kharkiv region. Good afternoon, Yuliia. Good afternoon, Vyacheslav. Good afternoon, dear colleagues in the studio. I would not repeat what Yuliia and Vyacheslav had mentioned, because I fully agree with them. I fully agree that much was done by the DOBRE program of the USAID and about us and our participation. Due to this project, we were able to change mentality in the community, to change our overall paradigm of inclusiveness and participation. People showed a big readiness to contribute to the local development, to attend events, to provide ideas. So I can assure you, dear colleagues, that it is not scary to gain new knowledge, to try new approaches, and to try new paths, actually. And doing this, we will be able to raise the level of our communities. We had a lot of trainings. We had a lot of meetings. We involved many civil society organizations. We participated in all the components offered by the DOBRE program, almost 85 such events. So now my colleagues are coming to me, and they continue to ask questions whether the program will be continued. So the level of the project might be raised. That is upgrading the knowledge for those who lead the local communities. Yuliia, this is my suggestion to you. As for the project management, in Kharkiv Oblast, one community was excluded from the project. They rejected to participate in the soft project, so-called, that is in soft trainings, and but I can assure you, devote as much attention to these trainings as possible, because they are extremely interesting, they are extremely important. They will totally change your vision, and I can assure you that those people who will undergo these trainings, they will they will build a new life for your communities. Yuliia, I hope that you will have a new level, or maybe extension of your project. I believe that the next level of the project will be sharing experience from you among the communities in Kharkiv Oblast and with Cohort 4. Perhaps there will be study visits. I hope so. As for the high-level trainings, we may organize discussion and understand the needs of all our cohorts. Now, I am happy to invite Komysh-Zoriansku OTG Ihor Hnatusha from Zaporizhzhia Oblast in the offline conference. We would be able to take a photo with this plaque. Unfortunately, staying online, we cannot make a joint photo with the plaque, but we will send this plaque to you. So what is your vision of the priorities for your community development, and or how you can make use our program? We are in the southeast of Zaporizhzhia Oblast. We were among 149 first amalgamated communities in Ukraine. Of course, we work much as community with IDPs issues. We had to open kindergartens for them. We have bigger part of IDPs in general in our among our residents. And now we require assistance in terms of the adaptation of IDPs. Looking at our colleagues who tried to improve and who had better successes. 3 years ago, when your program started to launch its first programs, we have heard from previous participants that your program is very useful, especially in terms of better communication. While I realize that our communication is very weak, while your project actually forces members of local council and the head of local council to learn properly how to communicate. Those your colleagues who provided training for us within 2 days, they inspired us to change our vision of communication. I agree with my previous colleagues that there is a lot of work, there is a long path to cover. I now see it, and we are very much committed to do this. All our departments in the council, and although sometimes I have doubts and concerns about them, about their commitment, but nevertheless, I hope that they will feel responsibility for the selection in the staff selection process, and they will remain strongly committed to the program implementation. So I even now cannot understand how we were selected. You were selected because you filled your application form in a very good way, and we felt that you are special. Now to Pitchev OTG, whether we have good connection with Stupychev local community. Good afternoon. This is Doya Chugai, head of the investment sector of the council, Stupychev council. Good afternoon, dear friends. I am happy to be part of this big program. We had been observing the activity of your project for several years in Ukraine, and when we found an opportunity to participate in it, when we have heard about new project call, even at the eve of elections, we submitted application because we saw this program as an opportunity to make a good use of the program experts' knowledge, expertise, and to make our community more economically, to use this chance to make it more economically sustainable and more advanced. When we attended the first workshop and got home assignment, we had made this home assignment, then we were evaluated. And doing that home assignment, we found that people, members of local community, are happy to contribute to our assessment, to know about their expectations. In the result of amalgamation process, our community had enlarged, and now we understand that we have even more work ahead of us, and nevertheless, we now feel stronger that we may consult with the public, with civil society organizations, and we are very happy that we are members of this project, and we would be happy to see you and welcome you all here. Thank you so much. We have big hopes that next month we will be able to attend at least several newly joining communities. The question whether it is possible to join your program because we are newly established community and we require training. Unfortunately, I have to emphasize that we are providing very comprehensive support. That's why we have to focus at a limited number of communities. As I mentioned, we had 4 project calls in the past 20. That is 4 cohorts. We had now finalized the 4th project call. As of now, we do not plan to announce new project calls, but in case our partner USAID and will announce new project call, then we will be able to accept new members. Also, I expect that USAID will have other programs for communities, and perhaps you will be able to join them. I am very happy that I have this opportunity today to say that as soon as we will be able to travel around the country, we will immediately visit new communities, new members of our family, and provide them with their memorial plaques. I will join your congratulations congratulations. I would like to thank to these proactive communities who are looking for new initiatives, new opportunities, new options, who try to resolve the problems, how we call it in Ukrainian. But actually, I would like to assure you, there are no problems. There are tasks, there are objectives. So I encourage you to put objectives and implement these objectives, reach new goals, and this would allow us to reach success. I am happy to welcome those communities who have been working very intensively. I am happy to welcome the amalgamated communities, re-elected heads of communities, new heads of communities. And again, on the eve of the new year, I'm wishing you, I wish you that your plans could be implemented. I wish you good health, and I hope that we will overcome all the viruses. We will survive through these hard times, and let us start our fruitful cooperation. Thank you.